Hello everyone, welcome to Stonehearth, and it's finally time to start a new series with the latest edition, the latest update with Ace that it was updated at the end of the previous year. So we're starting a new playthrough, and today I feel like I want to go kind of a little bit Nordic, a little bit Viking-ish, so that's what we're gonna do today. So, for anyone who hasn't seen this game before, this is the story of a brave band of settlers from the Ascendancy, Clan Muramasa, Nordling, Church of Plenty, Right Children, Northern Alliance or Firefly clan. So, the one I'm gonna go for is gonna be the Northern Alliance. Another option that would be kinda similar would be the Nordlings. This is a mod, meanwhile the Northern Alliance is the base game but has been enhanced and tweaked a little bit with the Ace mod, so these are the guys I want to play with. So these are the brave and hardy. The men and women of the north live in the sight of a new dawn of unexplored territory. Armed with compass and hatchet, they pride themselves on their tenacious adaptability. So these guys are really good for surviving in the cold, desolate winterlands. Seeking new lands and adventure, they set off to. We're gonna be living in... I think we're gonna be living in the Arctic, so it's gonna be really cold. Another option would be to play the Midgard Forest. We can go with anything. Midgard Forest is actually pretty cool. That's the home of the Nordling Kingdom. And I highly recommend checking out the Nordling Kingdom if you guys want to have like an kind of Viking-ish, very Viking-ish mod for the game. Highly recommend that. So, we're going back to the cold, to the Arctic biome. Snowy, with tall mountains and a large water body. Default home of the Northern Alliance. And I heard about some pretty cool new changes with the latest update for Ace as well. So apparently we can have infinite water resources as long as we build and dig next to like an corner of the map. You're gonna get infinite amount of water, which means we can get a lot of water, and that means we can also be creative with the designing canals and so on, or waterfalls, that for example. It's gonna be really interesting to check that out. So then we can choose difficulty. I'm gonna go with normal mode. Peaceful can be pretty nice when you only want to focus on being creative and designing, which can be kinda nice at times. Gentle is also pretty good. Kinda feels normal. A little bit less frequent attacks with this one. Slower pace as it does say there over there. And hard can also be fun sometimes, but for today I'm not gonna be doing a hard mode. We're gonna go normal mode. And you guys, as always, you're gonna be able to name my people in my town. So I'm gonna start with naming one, and the first one's gonna be BANTO. So here we go, and I'm gonna set up myself here. I'm gonna have, I think, black hair, like I have in real life, and let's see. I don't have a majestic beard, but it's freaking awesome, so I'm gonna go with that. So let's go ahead and select the magnificent beard. Look at that, beautiful. And I guess that's the only style we have for it. What kind of hair should I have? It would be kind of fluffy, I think. I'm gonna go with that one, looks pretty cool. Hair color, you're gonna go with that one. Let's see, what more should I have? Should I have to be having to be a lord maybe? Let's click this one. This one will allow us to add more traits and change the stats kind of the way we want to have it. And this is a mod you can get for the game as well. If you want to have this one, you can customize it. I will put all the mods that I'm using in this playthrough in the description of the video, so you guys can get all the mods that I'm using in this one. And I will also be trying to share the templates as we go with this one. So every now and then I will be updating my template package that will arrive maybe a few episodes after this one comes out. So let's add another trait. I'm gonna be a tea lover. I love tea. So there should be one for that. Tea lover. It is no secret how much BANTO loves all the sorts of teas and infusions. They always appreciate drinking them more than anything else if possible. So I'm gonna go with that one. It's gonna be awesome. So that seems pretty good. And I'm gonna be the Lord, of course, the Lord BANTO. So I'm gonna have a pretty good body, 6 in body. That's gonna be awesome. And a little bit of balance in mind and spirit. That's gonna be good for a lord. And I don't have to have the trait for passionate lord, but why not? Let's do it. There we go. So we have our first lord, and then I want to have someone that is like good with crafting, and we don't have a carpenter beginning when you play Northern Lions, you have a mason instead. So perhaps we should have one that has heart of a crafter at least. And the game works as well. The higher spirit you have, the more likely you are to craft exceptional things more often. So this one will be very useful if you want to get the beautiful decorations, because people will be happy with having it beautiful around them. So I'm gonna go with something like that. I might go for the stats we have already. Maybe remove Glutton. Usa's like loves nothing more than a gentle drumbeat of raindrops. I'm gonna be naming my people. I'm gonna go for some typical, I guess, Scandinavian names, I guess. So BANTO, that's not really a Scandinavian name. I guess it could be since that's my name, but... And then we're gonna go for a girl name here. That's gonna be... Sigrid, and you guys are gonna be able to change these names later. We're just gonna go for the ones we have. Magnus, that can definitely be a name. So then we got a carpenter, or a crafter at least. Loner pack mule, could be a good one. Maybe increase the body a bit, lower the mind, something like that. Looks kind of fair to me. Okay, so Magnus over here. What should you be? Should be maybe my blacksmith. A future blacksmith. I'm gonna give you a magnificent beard at least. And yeah, let's go like that. And we can increase the mind a bit. Below that and get up the body, like so. I don't want to go too crazy with the stats. I don't want to go like, you know... I guess we can go all the way if we want to. But we're gonna go, you know, kind of fair, I guess. So there we go. We got BANTO, Sven, Sigrid, Magnus, and then we're also gonna go for... Last one's gonna be Svea. And that's maybe gonna be one of my soldiers, perhaps. We do have a courageous one. Could be a courageous worker as well, of course. But maybe something like that's pretty good. Everyone has some pretty good body, except for Sven. Let's get it up a little bit more. That should be good. So... magnificent beard over here. That doesn't suit very good, does it? Okay, let's go over here. That's where I wanted it. There we go, Magnus. Magnificent beard. Maybe Sven as well. We're gonna have start with the magnificent beard. We're gonna be the beard squad, I guess. Okay, there we go. I feel pretty satisfied. And guys, if the game runs into bugs and so on, it can do that sometimes, so you can't really put out your people. What you can do is to save your loadout over here. So I save that, and if it fails and bugs out, or if I want to reuse this later on, I can do so. You can just load it in, and it's really useful. Okay, so we have hunting party, merchant caravan, noble entourage, food for days, military expedition, money solves all problems. So, I'm probably gonna go for either hunting party or merchant caravan. The good way with this one is that we start with a trapper knife. Really, really good. However, it is fairly easy to do those with the Northern Lions, because you start working with the mason from the very beginning of the game. It's kind of nicer to get an herbalist staff. This one's nicer to get a cook spoon and 2 bows. This one can be interesting because we can start with a blacksmith hammer, start working on that pretty early on. But I do think we probably want to have one of these two. We want to have some archers. That's how you kind of start out. It could also work with going with the military expedition, and we get some targets to practice with as well. But let's maybe go for... Let's go for hunting party. We do get a little bit of jerk in the beginning, and we get a cook spoon, and then we make a trapper knife. So let's go with the hunting party. The land is full of animals, tasty animals. The archers can hunt them and cook them to turn them into delicious morsels. Hunting is a less reliable food source, but the archers can do double duty as town guards. Yes, it's pretty useful, very useful. So let's make sure we select a small map, and the reason we do that is because that will make the game run better. So if you have performance problems, issues with that, you want to have it a little bit better, it will not solve everything, but it will definitely not ruin anything in terms of performance. So let's try to set up for a small one, and I'm probably going to re-roll the map as well. And this is the extra map options. It gives all these beautiful settings. So I'm going to go for like 3 rivers, and we can also set how wide we want the rivers to be. So wide rivers or narrow rivers. If we want to have plains, foothill mountains, we can remove if there's like something maybe we don't want to have foothills at all. That way, maybe we can even try that for fun, kind of just to see how that would be, I guess. Since we're playing kind of with like a Viking theme, I do feel like we should have some water nearby, but we also want to have some mountains nearby so we can go and get some beautiful ore from over there. This looks like a pretty nice sweet spot actually. Here could also be really good. Then we have two different sides of this zone. And you can see down here we have how much minerals should be around, so as we go up the mountain, there will be more minerals where the mountains, where the rocks are. So maybe down there, I'm gonna re-roll the map maybe a few times. Let's see what we get. Ah, this could be a neat one. I kinda like this area, or even over here. Then we can build like on this side and maybe travel to that side, or whichever side we want to have of them. Ooh, this one's also pretty cool. Then we can build like on this island if we want to. That could be kind of cool actually. It sort of is like an island. We have a little path over here, but it kind of is like an island really. Ah, I kind of like this area. I feel like we have a lot of different terrain. I don't think we have to care too much about what it says down here. Because we do have mountains, and mountains kind of always have ores, so it should be kind of fine. So we will have like this landmass over here, this one over here, we have a mountain. We have quite a bit of a forest as well, we have some water. So I feel like this would be really good, and like I said in the beginning of the video, there's been update to Ace, like if you have water next to the edge of the map, you will have infinite water, so it means I can for example dig out here with this water and it will not be decreasing the water level. So that's a new thing that has changed, so you can be very creative, but also it will not be hurting performance. According to the Ace team at least. I haven't tried it myself yet, so we will see I guess. But I think like this is a pretty good spot. Let's go here. Okay, let's... Oh, look at that, some beautiful ruins. I love the start of a game when you get to see the terrain. Here we have a meteor that has struck down maybe a long time ago. And there's some more ruins, that's cool. I love these as well, look at them, fluffy little beautiful little sheepies. That's a good source of early on wool, and so much stone that's around, that's gonna be so useful. That's cool. So here we'll have the infinite amount of water, it's gonna be really awesome. And here as well. Look at that beautiful little duck pond, that's looking beautiful. Happy little duckies. So, where should we live? Which side, this or this side? Need to decide which side to decide, yes. It could be kinda cool to live nearby the ruins. Maybe. I'm kinda leaning towards this side, because then we're kinda close to the mountain as well. Yeah, I'm gonna start down here. Let's start here. Today we have our brave new little settlers settling out in the wilderness. So let's maybe start with chopping a little bit of stone. That's always good when you play Northern lines. And why not get a little bit of wood as well? I really missed playing the Northern lines. I love the beautiful music and the theme of them. And they play a little bit different since you don't start with a carpenter. So let's have them carry around a few things. Now in the beginning I'm also going to do a little stockpile, which you can do if you go inside of here, I think it is. Here we have it. You can create a stockpile where you can put items, but I highly recommend to try to use like boxes and chests and so on to store items, because that can also help with performance if you run into issues with that. But like I said before, it will not solve everything, but it will definitely help and definitely not hurt, so it'll be good. The glowbud plants. A calm and peaceful glowbug is over here. That glowbud plant can produce binding essence that is used for crafting auto golems and guns. But a nice friendly bug, we also found a glowbud plant seed to begin grow them on her own. That's really cool. An ancient statue. This chest here looks quite old. There is a legend of golem fighters that wander into town occasionally if they notice a golem statue. If you're lucky to find a golem set, you place it down into your town, and after some days pass, a golem will arrive. So this is the auto golem guns mod. I'm not gonna mess around with that for now, but later on we might do so. A stoic scout. A woman stands at the edge of camp. She wears the travel-worn blues of the scout at the library. Nobody saw her arrive, but it's clear she has been watching for some time. Welcome, traveler. Ronja, she says, pointing at herself. Her voice is strangled, as if to explain. She pulls her collar away from her throat, revealing a mess of old scars. She gestures at her knife. I scout. Then she taps the star-shaped brooch on her cloak. For Valin's library. Ah. She speaks as much with her hands and eyes as with her voice. I'm glad that you have come to study and to settle. Now that I know you are here, I will send the tales of your learnings to the scholars at home. She steps away from the banner, touches its blank center. First though, you must choose your symbol. What future did you foresee when you began this voyage? A voice takes on the cadence of one reciting words spoken 1,000 times before. Valin created our alliance to share with plenty, adapt in hardship and seek the horizon. The Northern Alliance will become one with the cycles and the stars of Hearth. She tilts her head in inquiry. Which of our philosophies do your outposts most aspire to embody? So we have 3 different ones. We've got Banner of Vitality, Banner of Strength, and Banner of Cunning. And I'm gonna go with the Banner of Cunning as usual. But the way they work, Vitality, you get more wood. Crops grow faster. Plants have 2 times the appeal, which is kind of like the beauty thing in the game. So when you craft things, they will be more beautiful, which means they have a higher appeal, which makes people happy. And with Banner of Strength, you will be getting more ore, stone and clay, which could be kind of useful with Northern Alliance. Depends on how you're designing a town. I'm probably gonna go over towards wood furniture pretty quick. Or at least as quick as I can, I guess. Then Banner of Cunning, I really love this one because you will be 3 times the speed on roads. Your items sell for 50% more, traders being 2 times the goods and gold. So this one is really good for trading and move around quickly if you have a lot of roads. So we're gonna be naming this town as well today. And what name should we have? I don't think we're gonna have any Bentonian Vale today. I'm gonna go with an old Swedish town name. It was called Birka, which is an old Viking village in Sweden. So I'm gonna go with that one, and the Banner of Cunning. We're not gonna try to recreate the Birka, but that's gonna be the name of our town. Let's see, they're gonna drop them off, and it's time to celebrate for establishing a new town. And here we have Ronja, Olarkson as well. Beautiful fireworks. Really, really beautiful. Okay, outpost established. So now we got speed, sell more, and 2 times the goods and gold with traders. Awesome, awesome. So, let's see, should we maybe design our first house? And we can do this in many ways. I haven't designed houses for a while now. It's kinda nice when they dig down houses. I might do that. The problem is that you destroy the terrain, and the problem is when I'm gonna share the template, you will have to dig down and know how to dig it down. So I guess we could do that, but it's also hurting the terrain. So let's maybe start with a house that's gonna be above the surface first, and maybe later on we will changing a few things. It can be like a big home for everyone in the beginning. Thank you, Rana whispers, and from her gesture it is clear she means for your hospitality and presence. He places a small pouch beside the banner. On its side is an emblem, the nearest large town, some days distant. Our towns are stars and constellation of our people, she says. For you, for them, so that one day you will join the ranks. The bag contains carrot juice, cheap milk, roast sausage, cornbread and mead. Delicious, awesome, thank you. Ronja is now standing by the edge of the fire. She has written the town name and a brief account of its inhabitants in the white flesh of birchbark shaving. Methodically, she commits into the flames, which burn paler for a moment. Birka, she intones by Valin's wisdom, and under the watchful eyes of the stars above, be committed to the records of the library. Those that matter will hear, she bows and makes to fade back into the edge of the wilderness. Farewell, she gestures, I'll return for your stories. Travel under the stars. Thank you, Rania. Okay, so, how should we design our houses? I think I'm gonna best start with a basic house to begin with. So, Magnus, should he be our first? No, maybe not. Sven, with mighty beard, heart of a crafter, you're gonna be my first mason. And to become a lord, you first have to be an archer, so I'm gonna promote the BANTO to be our first little archer. And the cook spoon, we can wait with that for a bit, perhaps, I think so. Okay, so now we have a mason. Let's get a workbench, and I'm gonna prepare to do the other workbenches as well. And getting a saw to become a carpenter is pretty deep into the trees with the Northern Kingdom. But you can actually make an bone saw as a tool. But you do need to level up to a level 6 mason. But it can go pretty decently quick, I would say. And I'm gonna start also with making maybe a couple of beds, because I know we're gonna use them, right? I'm not a fan of the stone windows. So I think the first houses we could do is gonna be like temporary houses, most likely. And later on we're gonna make our kind of like real houses. So I'm doing a bunch of things that I know that I'm gonna be using, but also things that will skill us up. So for example, I'm using thatch here to make a dry thatch pet bed, because then I can level up my mason without using stone. And let's make, and we already have a cook spoon, we can make a potter's cutter, why not? A weaver's bone spindle, so that means bone and fiber. Blacksmith hammer, and then at level 3 we can do the trapper knife. But it also needs the mason pedestal for that. So let's start with our first little workbench. There we go. A Nord tent as well. We started with them. Because we have the Nordling Kingdom, you get tents with other kingdoms as well, really useful. So, with our archer, by the way, when playing Northern Alliance, you can enable or disable hunting animals. So if you click it twice, they will help with taking down some animals. So at the moment, BANTO is chasing an snow hare somewhere in the wilderness. There's one. He will go there and try to shoot him down. Gonna be really, really nice. Get some good. Rabbit jerky, stringy but nutritious, thank you. So let's start with an house, a basic one. I'm not gonna make this too big, so let's start with like something like... It may be pretty decent, depends on how many people we can have inside. 15 by 11. Push it down and swap this out to be a wooden wall instead, and then we can change the column to wood as well. That way we can use the wood instead of spending a lot of stone, because stone feels a little bit harder to get around with. Let's lower this down a bit and add a little door. I'm gonna try a thing actually. I'm gonna do like that. I'm gonna drag this out. I'm gonna push in a little door in the front like so. Just to kind of get a little bit of extra shape for fun. And maybe we can do that in the back as well, if you want it to kind of look the same, but it really depends if you want it to look the same. But maybe that could be fun when we're making a roof. So there we go, and let's change the floor to be a wooden floor as well, kind of like that brown floor, looking beautiful. So I'm gonna make a lot of the house while directly in the beginning now. But before we do that, let's set up a little well. You can dig that with this one. Because your people do need to have drink to feel good and make them happy. When you make better drinks later, they're gonna become happy. So, let's just experiment a little bit. That's how I like to do when I'm building things, to be experimental with designing things. We could either do like the wall, it works really well. This time I'm gonna maybe do it with blocks. So I'm gonna keep adding blocks here. And depending on how we want to slope it, so if we want to be a bit more pointy, we can add 2 steps at a time as we get up to this level. And sometimes it can also be nice to, if we go back a little bit, And let's say we would do like that. So we start like one block outside, I guess you could say. Can create some interesting visuals for the roof. Make it a little bit less flat of the building. Then we get up like that. And then we are gonna do a roof, and perhaps we can do a green one. Green is kind of nice. We could also do it with thatch if we wanted this color. I think the both are pretty nice. I do think I'm gonna go for green this time though. And over here we're kind of changing the shape of the building as we go down there. We kind of like bend a little bit at the end over there. And we could do that at the top as well if you want to. Okay, there we go. Daily update, and we're missing a little bit of net worth. Ooh, a goblin with a bucket approaches. Hey, you fool, I found this bucket, but it's trash, so it must be yours. It doesn't fit my head, you see? Point to own head. Yeah, thank you. I don't care what you do with it, you can burn it for all that I care. Throws the bucket on the ground, kicks it, and then goes away angry. Okay, thank you for the bucket. So now we can have a fisherman, pretty much. Okay, so let's look into making this roof a little bit again. So we're going in, adding a little bit of these, kind of like, I guess you could call them wind boards. And you see the little curve down here, and then we will add it down here. We can make it go all the way under if you want to, like so. So a little bit coloration, and we can add in a little bit of random colors here as well. We can keep the same pattern everywhere, but it really depends on how you want it to look. Sometimes I prefer to do lines like that match exactly the same everywhere, but I'm gonna pretend they have been like repairing this building over time, so the colors is not matching fully anymore because some boards or pieces are new and some are old, so they don't have the same coloration. Some may have been bleached by the summer, and some may have been gone darker because of the rain. They've been around for a long time. Maybe it's time to like swap them out soon as well. So there we go, they've got a little beautiful roof. And we can't forget to add this under here, and perhaps we also, it really depends on how we want to make it look. We could add some stone around the building. I feel like that can enhance the building's looks a bit sometimes. And this time I'm just gonna do like one level of it. Normally I have like two, so it would go up like that. But I feel like one is pretty good here. Looking pretty nice. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And then we're just gonna add in a few little random variation of the gray over here. Like so. And then we can kind of do a little bit of color variation over here as well. Like so, and perhaps we want to have like a place for smoke to get out, or we can pretend it's just going out for the roof or a little hole, or we can make a hole. Because we can make fireplaces if we go into the mason. We can make these ones, so that will be a small fireplace. Smoke will come out from that one. So let's look inside. I'm gonna tag this as a roof. That means we can look through it. So really useful. And let's see, seems we have a block over here. We're gonna remove that. And if we go inside of here, we could make potentially a second floor because we get kind of high roof here. So we can do like another, we only need 3 in height. So if we want to, we can make a ladder to go up here. Perhaps that will be another place for another bed. So that way we can go in here, look for a bed, and then we can have it. Let's see, where can we have it? Should we have it like that maybe? And perhaps we can even remove a bit, then maybe this we can remove like so. If we can get a bed back again, it deleted for some reason. There we go. I think it should be possible to sleep on that one. And then potentially we can look into making a little spot here for having the chimney. So we will making that into stone, and maybe the middle over there, that one, is gonna be where we burn things. So we'll add that later on. And then we will just kind of like make a hole though with this one. So let's see, I think it may be that one. So we can do it like that or leave it like that. I think we'll actually leave it like that and pretend it's going out here. We can also do it like that and just add it like so and pretend that's where it's coming out from. But I think I'm just gonna leave it like that this time. So I feel like it looks pretty good already. And we can also add a gate in front of it if you want to. It'll look kinda nice. You can have their own little yard, I guess. You could have had something like that. But I feel pretty satisfied as a first little building with this one. On the outside at least, and on the inside we can look into adding a few things. So we can add ladders to get up here. We're just gonna hook a ladder to this side, and that way you should be able to go up here and sleep in the bed over there. There we go. And down here we can have maybe some cooking we can do over here. If we want to. Maybe we can do a little bit more stone nearby the fireplace. So that could be a little cooking area. And perhaps we can have some... I feel like I want to have like maybe another bed. That will be a 2-person house then, I guess. And maybe we can have some tables and chairs over here. I feel like that would probably be enough. For 2 people at least. And if you want, we can have a pet bed in the corner, because they probably had a lot of pets, the Vikings. They might even help with warming up inside. Because they also will produce a little bit of warmth. So this could be like the beginning of this building, and maybe we can change the color under here. Maybe leave it as it was. So there we go. That's looking pretty okay, I think. So let's name this one. So we'll see, maybe we'll keep this for later on. We will see, but at least we can build it to have a first building. And we're probably going to be reshaping and making more buildings as we go, but it's going to be our first house at least. Like I said, later on we may be digging down to make buildings that are under the ground a little bit. Kind of cool. But that's gonna be the first one, first little building. But guys, this is gonna be it for the first episode of the new series of Stonehearth. So hope you enjoy this and hope you're looking forward to see where we go with this one, how far we're gonna go, and how this town is gonna develop over time. And as we're gonna experiment with some of the new features with Ace update. Like I said before, all the mods are in the video description. I will eventually be adding the templates of this playthrough to the Steam Workshop as well. But guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like, subscribe to watch more, and if you want to support me here on YouTube as well as an extra, can also become a member on my channel to support me with the monthly amount if you wish to do so. And by that said, I also want to thank my members here on YouTube. Thank you for supporting me. And I hope to see you guys soon again. So thanks for watching, and I hope you all gonna have a great rest of your day. So take care everyone, have a good one.